Well, these are the pictures we will never forget. People escaping the flames of Fort McMurray just a couple of days ago. All right, we are going live now to the Alberta Legislature. Premier Rachel Notley about to speak about the new developments in the pipeline expansion project. What is that spike for exactly?
That spike is definitely another defensive adaptation.
This is
That's it.
a bullet hole.
1915.
This is CBC Edmonton News.
Good evening, I'm Sandra Batson, and this is CBC Edmonton News at 11. We begin tonight with a CBC exclusive as wildfires have caused people in our province to flee their homes over the last couple of weeks. There's news tonight from the province's largest union that some fire towers are being left unstaffed because of a government policy. Charles Rusnell has our exclusive story. Well, these are the pictures we will never forget. People escaping the flames of Fort McMurray just a couple of days ago, and the fight against that fire is still going on. We have the latest for you tonight on the fire and the evacuees. Okay, Marion, it looks like it's really bustling there at the evacuation center. Now, you've been up in Fort McMurray for more than 24 hours now, and we've been seeing a lot of pictures coming out of Fort Mac of the flames and the smoke. The smoke must just be hanging in the air. Can you paint a bit of a picture for us about what you are experiencing up there? Okay, Marion, thank you so much for painting that very vivid picture. Now, we will be checking back with you in just a few moments, so don't go too far. Thank you for that. Well, we are constantly updating details about Fort McMurray fires on our website. You can find that at cbc.ca/Edmonton. Now, this is the most dangerous fire in the province right now, but it's certainly not the only one. I'm joined right now by Matthew Anderson, and he's the Wildfire Information Officer with the province. When you have a fire like Fort McMurray, how do the priorities change when the flames get so close to, a large community like that? Bill Blair is Canada's Minister of Border Security and Organised Crime Reduction, and he joins us now from Ottawa. Minister, what do you think of U.S. border officials saying that a pardon doesn't mean anything to them and that once someone is convicted of possession, they won't be allowed in the States?
Well, I understand the rhetoric, but...
Well, we want to hear what you think about this story, so here's our Twitter question tonight. What do you think about the legalization of marijuana in 2018? Tweet us your thoughts right now at CBC Edmonton, and we will be showing you some of your tweets at the end of the show. Well, now to our Twitter question tonight. We asked you earlier what you think about legalizing marijuana in 2018, and here is what some of you had to say. Millwood's Gal says, I'm in favor. I don't adhere to the gateway drug theory. Alcohol is a gateway drug for that matter as well. But Jason disagrees and says, horrible. It's horrible without the stupid excitement from politics and media. Substance use is messing up lives. Great responses tonight. Thank you so much for your tweets. All right, turning to politics now, and an anti-carbon tax rally is taking place in Calgary tonight, hosted by Ontario Premier Doug Ford and UCP leader Jason Kenney. Now, the doors just opened just a little while ago, with the main event kicking off at about 7 o'clock. Graham Thompson is CBC's new political watcher, and he joins us now to talk about what's at stake tonight. Now, Graham, what are we going to see on the stage in Calgary tonight?
We're seeing this burgeoning bromance.
All right, let's talk about the politics surrounding this. What does Jason Kenney get out of appearing on stage with Doug Ford? In a little less than a week, it will be election day in our city. The municipal election is on Monday, October 16th. And tonight, we're getting the conversation going about the big issues leading up to the big day. We welcome our political panel. Let's just start by asking you, what is the hot button issue for you in this election campaign? What is the one issue that you think marks this campaign? Kim, let's start with you. Sure. We are going to drill down on that in just a little bit. We'll get back to that. What do you think, Marina? Is there an issue that is leaping out at you? Let's talk candidates. 13 candidates for mayor. So that is, we're seeing record numbers of candidates this year, which is to our benefit, I would think. More voices and more people being involved. 13 for mayor. We have 2 women who are running as well, and one of those women is Aboriginal. There are at least 4 candidates who are visible minorities who are running for mayor. Why do we have all of a sudden this burgeoning diversity, do you think? What can we attribute this number of diverse candidates to in our election cycle this year? Now, this one is impressive. It spans a huge section here.
It's an enormous dinosaur. This is Mamenchisaurus. Now, it's one of the sauropods or the long-necked dinosaurs.
What is that spike for exactly?
That spike is definitely another defensive adaptation.
Well, now you're going to show us some that look very different because they're quite tiny.
They're
quite small.
They're tiny. They're absolutely adorable. They're probably the cutest dinosaurs in the exhibit. So this is Psittacosaurus.
I'm joined now by Daryl Babick, who is here with me in front of the Hotel Macdonald. And Daryl, this is a hotel that most Edmontonians are familiar with, but maybe not familiar with the history of this famous building. Tell us a little bit about the Hotel Mac.
Hotel Mac's a very grand place. It certainly has its place in Edmonton's history and Canada's history.
So, Daryl, I understand that there's also some very interesting stonework in this hotel.
There is. We're walking across some stone from the Tyndall Quarry in Manitoba.
So we're in the garden area now. Can you tell us a bit about it?
The gardens were part of the City Beautiful movement that Edmonton almost adopted as a city plan. We would have looked a lot like Washington, D.C. had that gone through.
Well, speaking of other areas of Edmonton, can you give me an idea? What is the direction of architecture in our city right now? So, Daryl, you were telling me a story that sort of scared me a little bit, but tell me the story of this chair and table.
I don't believe in ghosts. However, there's a lot of people who believe this room is haunted. And there's this fellow there in a tuxedo walking up the stairs. The building's locked. What's this guy doing here? She was kind of taken back, and then he vaporized.
No.
Yeah. We think he was a secretary of a lodge that met on Wednesday night. This is the secretary's table.
Is he friendly? He's benevolent? Is he a nice ghost?
Well, yeah. Mind you, no one wants to be here after midnight, but yeah. These are bullet holes from a gunfight in the First World War.
This is
That's it.
a bullet hole.
1915.
We leave you now with more dramatic video of people escaping the flames of Fort McMurray, images that we will never forget. Have a good night.